Okay, hello and welcome to Brothers of MGTOW. I am your host, a brother of MGTOW, and this is episode 4, if I'm not mistaken. So, this video, I don't have a primary topic per se, although there will be a little bit of an extended conversation about the wall, TM. Um, but this is more or less just me freestyling and just trying to talk about various topics that I may have missed. Okay. So first of all, I do want to talk about domestic. I don't want to talk. Sorry, I want to say something about domestic violence, and it is this. Sorry, calm down. We need to have a talk about domestic violence. Okay, we need to incite another debate on it. Now the question is, domestic, and people may ask, domestic violence, that's never okay. Yes, it's never okay. Full stop. We all know that. The debate is about domestic violence against men. In this society, in this current day and current society, we turn a very blind eye towards this. Okay. We tend to ignore this part because feminism. I'm not going to lie. I'm really am. Again, I'm not trying to incite any gender hate here. I'm just saying what the facts are. Okay. Because we live in a sort of feminist dominated society right now, we have this situation where we turn a blind eye to domestic violence against men. Okay? Now, just sort of where I stand, just know it's never okay to hit a woman. If you do that, then you deserve everything that comes to you. Whether it be mental, emotional, whatever happens to you, whatever bad happens to you, you deserve it. But the same should go for a woman who hits a man or who abuses a man in any way, shape, or form. You will also get your due justice. And this is the problem in current society. We tend to just ignore them. Like, ignore the women who abuse a man and we just go, do your own thing. We've given women too much power in that regard. Okay? I'm not going to say anything much more than this. So I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. Scenario 1. Okay? Let's say you're on a train or you're in a public place and you witness an argument between a man and a woman, and then somehow you watch this woman become abusive towards the man. What would you do? Now, if a general person would go, I wish that guy would man up. Sometimes women laugh at the guy. So you could understand that the reaction is a little bit meh. Nothing dramatic. But let's say in scenario 2, you reverse the situation where, so same situation, but you reverse the situation where now the man becomes abusive towards the woman. Now watch all the blue pills, the manginas, the white knights, the feminists, the male feminists too. Watch them get all around the man and just go ape shit. Now, scenario 2 is definitely warranted. Okay? Except we should not be that, There should just be a couple of people telling the guy, "Hey, that's not okay." But we need to do the same thing with when the woman abuses the man. We need to tell that woman, "Hey, it's not okay to do that. Stop it." This is why we need to incite a debate on domestic violence against men. Okay, but I'm not going to say anything much else about that. Yeah, I won't. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything else. We just need to incite a debate. We need to have a talk about men being abused in a domestic sense in general. Okay? We tend to ignore this because Again, feminists control society. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just talking about the negative aspects of it. Okay? Now, so let's talk about the wall. I think that's probably going to be a main topic for today. But I try, it's more or less a MGTOW thought thing. Before I talk about the wall, though, I'm going to talk about an experience I've had. If I can find my phone somewhere. Oh, it's up there. Bear with me for a second. Okay. So, now this is a friend of mine. Okay. Now he's a friend. I just discovered that my friend is one of those manginas, male feminist type of person. Okay. Does it hurt me? Not in particular, but I just think that he may have invaded on some aspect of my life choice. Okay. So he just came up to me and he just expressed a negative view of these videos. And I appreciate criticism. I do. But there's got to be a point where your criticism doesn't turn into you questioning a person's life choices. You have to understand that with MGTOW, right, the key part of MGTOW is we don't care what society says. We don't care about what women say we should be. We don't care about what other men say we should be, This is about us going our own way. Our life is defined by what we want, what our choices are going to be, and nothing else. It's about us. It's about ourselves. Okay, so remember that being MGTOW does not mean hate on women. Okay, we are not anti-women here. When you do MGTOW right, we're not anti-women. Actually, we're quite pro-women. We don't mind that. But what MGTOW, I mean, a lot of anti-MGTOW people tend to see just the dark side of it, but they don't see the light side, and this is the problem. Okay, so a lot of people associate MGTOWs to being bitter fags. I'm just kind of quoting what he said. Okay, MGTOW is associated to bitter fags. Let's break it down in two phases. The word bitter. Are we bitter? No, not necessarily. Not all MGTOWs are bitter. I mean, there are some who are. You go to MGTOW forums, there's a lot of people who are just very bitter on there. That's the extreme side of MGTOW. But I'm talking about doing MGTOW right. And I'm talking about living your life for yourself, being you, telling people it's okay to be you. Don't define your life by what society says. Don't define your life by what the other gender tell you to be like. Just live your life for yourself and make choices for you and only for you. That's the MGTOW that I know. Okay, I'm gonna find the original, the good definition of MGTOW. Okay, so men going their own way is a statement of self-ownership. Yep, 100% on that. It's all about us, where the modern man preserves and protects his own sovereignty above all else. As I said, it's not about living your life the way other people want you to live. It's about living your life the way you want to live. Doing things on your own terms and not doing things on other people's terms or society's terms or women's terms or blue pill terms. Live your life for what you want. It is the manifestation of one word: no. I won't say anything about that. I do have a bit of a disagreement. Maybe no to women. I don't know. I don't know. Fully I'm not fully locked into that statement. Ejecting silly preconceptions and cultural definitions of what a man is. On point. I may make a future video about being you, you know? Really don't, how do I put it? Don't be this man, I guess. Don't be the typical man if that's not what you are. If it's what you are, good. If it's not, then don't be someone that you're not. Looking to no one else for social cues. Yes, why, I'm not going to say anything else. I agree with that. Refusing to bow, serve, and kneel for the opportunity to be treated like a disposable utility. 100% on point. Okay, and living according to his own best interests in a world which would he rather he didn't. Okay, 100% on point. Well, 99.9% on point. Apart from the no part, it's pretty much on point. We don't want to bow down to what society says we should be. As I said, that's MGTOW. And living according to his own best interests. Yep, that we just live our life for us. That's it, nothing else. I'm not, And then you have this other definition. So let's look at this. I won't say a definition, but this is sort of what society thinks MGTOW is. MGTOW is lonely, angry, rejected men. I'm not lonely. I got friends. Am I angry? No. I'm not angry at life. No. I'm proud of where I am. Rejected men. Rejected from society? Yes. But again, the lonely part I totally disagree with. As I said, I have friends. I have good ones. You know? Who needs to believe that the reason they don't have love in life is that they don't desire it. Just what? We have love from our friends. That I'm speechless. I agree that I disagree with what that first sentence is. Because God forbid they work on some self-improvement to make the self more attractive. We're not doing this for other people. We're not doing self-improvement for others. At what point in MGTOW do you improve yourself for other people? No. You improve for yourself and only for yourself. Okay? Full stop. MGTOW is about doing self-improvement for yourself. They need to believe women reject them strictly because they're bitches. What? Whip. Ugh. MGTOW, when done right, as I said, you can be pro-woman if you wanted to. Pro-women. This is about living your life in a way that society, living life your own way and not society's way or other people's way. Okay? And not because there are possibly any other good reasons to do so. I'm not going to comment on this. I'm just going to say I totally disagree with it. Any MGTOW, if you're a MGTOW and you're hearing this, please comment on how much you disagree with this. Okay? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. So yeah, so that's the bitter part, I guess, and the other part is fag. First of all, I think the word fag is a derogatory term for a homosexual man. I believe, well, being Muslim as well, I'm not, how do I put it? I do not believe in myself to become a homosexual, but if a man wants to become a homosexual, that is his choice. And understanding MGTOW now, that is his choice and solely his choice. No one else's but him. You know? That's the problem. Let's not stoop down to offensive terms for homosexuals. Okay, gay people. I do have respect for gay people because it is their choice. I do not want to be gay, obviously, because I am Muslim. I do want to marry a woman if that's you know, if she is good. But calling a gay person a fag, I just find to be too offensive, given that it is his choice. It is a man's choice to be gay. So don't be calling gay people fags. Just call them a man. That's what they are, a man just like us. Okay. And then I just wanted to call him out on. I want to call him out on two. I want to call my friend out again on two things. First of all, he sort of says maybe the problem is us and not women. So he's asking to man up. We know what we know as MGTOW. We know what happens when people tell you to man up. Ignore them. When someone tells you to man up, tell them to shut up. Full stop. Um, and the other thing I want to call him out on is really this. Okay? This is what he says. Focus on developing yourself and pursuing your hobbies. That's what chicks like to see. First of all, I will focus on developing myself and pursuing my hobbies, but not for women. Only for me. They are my development, my achievements, my hobbies, my interests, my life. That's it. Okay? If you meet a girl, you got shit to talk about and you're passionate about what you're doing. If I meet a girl, I will. Yeah, I'm not gonna go down that road. I think I'm going to ignore that statement. But yeah, as I said, focus on developing yourself and pursuing your hobbies. Yes, but not for women. Only for me. They are my things, right? The moment you do something for a woman, like you develop yourself and pursue your hobbies for a woman, you're essentially taking the blue pill road. You're on a highway to white knighting. Okay? By the way, let me just quickly get the definition of white knighting. By the way, before that, Australia got a silver. Fuck. Lost in Americans again. So white knighting. So white knighting. Just trying to. No, that's not it. White knight here. Come on, load up. Yeah, so as I said, what I was trying to say before is the moment you do something, you pursue something, or do it, do something for the sole purpose of attracting women, you are on the high road to white knighting. Okay? We need to stop that. Okay, so again, you do it for you and not another person. Yeah, so a male version of the mother figure that some girls become. Yeah. Again, you're on the high road to the friend zone if you believe that you will do something for her. You need to do things for you and solely for you. If a woman gets attracted to that, we take it from there. But really, I'm talking about the self-development part of MGTOW. Okay? Yeah, so I just wanted to call him out on that. And I know he means well, so don't if you're watching this, you're listening to it, even you want to comment something, just don't be hateful about him. He's a good guy. I just think he's a little misguided as to what he wants from me. You know, what I want to be. I think obviously it's not in his place to give me advice in that, with regards to that. He is right in some sense, but he's also wrong in many other senses. That's let's just leave it at that. Okay. So I just want to say that first thing. And the second thing I want to talk about, okay. So this sort of kind of happened to me. I made the video on leftover women the other time, and yeah, and I was just talking to my cousin. She's a 30-year-old woman. She's around that wall age, and she sort of told me, I want to go date again. Yeah. So we were talking about leftover women the other time. Um, with regards to leftover women, do watch the SK2 commercial, sort of about the choice that leftover women make. Again, with that, it's a choice, so that's the choice they make. That's fine, but we got to understand as well that choices have consequences. Okay. We talked the other time about leftover women, so I'm not gonna. Maybe I'll just do a quick recap of sort of what leftover women, the whole point of the leftover women. Um, Again, let's say we talk an SMV scale. A woman is sort of in the middle here. Fear of hypergamy says she will never date someone at or below her level. Okay, and again, she'll find that it's very. If she's sort of in the bottom range, men want the women here, but she needs to get there. And in China or many other Asian countries, the way the society wants women to get to there is through education. And we talked about is a how that causes a lot of problems. Because what happens is once women get up there, by the theory of hypergamy, they will only consider men above them. So once they get to that high point in terms of SMV, they how do I put this? So as I said, yeah, they get to the point where their standards just become too high, too unattainable, too unachievable. And that's where they become lonely. Full stop. Okay? So I'm just trying to go. Yeah, so first of all, I think I just told her, look, she wants to start dating again. I just said, being at 30, you can't wait too long because women go downhill. We all know if we're going to talk about the wall soon, and men go uphill as they age. So I sort of had to be honest with her and said, look, it's going to be really hard for you. Okay. And I just told her, just don't be surprised if she lucks out. It's dating as a woman in your 30s is bloody hard. It's much harder than dating as a man in his 20s. Okay, so yeah. And I thought I just told her, you got to focus on yourself first. The moment a woman focuses on herself, the rest of the cards will fall as they may. Okay, but don't be surprised if you don't find somebody. I sort of gave her that advice. I think she sort of understands and she doesn't want to rely on men. Okay. I have a lot of experience, by the way, I do have a lot of experience with post-war women. Okay. A lot of my female friends are post-war. So, and I always try to be as meaningful as I can when I give them advice when it comes to finding men. And so vice versa too. Yeah, fine. La la la. Okay, so I guess sort of when a woman does want kids and a woman lucks out finding a man, they normally go to IVF or adoption. I'm not a big fan of IVF, but with adoptions that can be good sometimes. I believe that when you adopt a child and you, it's it's a risk sometimes because you don't know what the kid's going to be like. But when you train him good, when you train the kid good, that kid could see you as a role model. And being me, being me, a mentor, I guess I'm the mentor type person. I do get satisfaction from seeing people succeed through my guidance, I guess. You know, I do like that. Okay. Arranged marriage, yeah, when it's a risk. The problem is, if the risk is worth it with arranged marriage, it's good. But as I said, it is just a risk. That's it. Okay. Yeah, so really what I wanted to make, the reason why I want to talk about this is, so first of all, what is the wall? Okay. The wall is a point in a woman's life where her SMV, sexual market value, goes down. Not just down, but a sharp downhill. Okay, it plummets. So this is a point where, and we're talking about unmarried women here. Normally, in um, in women, it's sort of around the age of 30. It can become younger or older depending on certain factors. It can be older if you keep yourself in good shape, in good nick. If a woman keeps herself in good shape, good nick, then it may be older, but it also may be younger due to environmental factors. Okay, especially with we talk about leftover women, they tend to hit the wall much earlier because the moment they put the moment society puts a label on them, once they hit that 25 plus age, that's it, they're now leftover women, full stop. Uh, yeah, so that's really what the wall is. When do they hit it? It's around 30. It can be older, can be younger. And this is the point where women start contemplating to themselves, where can I find a good man? I think the best indicator for women who have hit the wall is when they say, where have all the good men gone? Okay, and there are many, many, many videos on YouTube about that. I would suggest Paul Elam's video for the Red Pill Truth. If you want something a bit more passive, I'm not sure whether there's a bit more passive stuff. There's a lot of brutal stuff, brutal red pill stuff out there. But yeah, I think the thing I want to make it, and I'll finish with this later on, is sort of an advice for the post-war women. And I want to give meaningful advice. I don't want to tell you you're not going to find a man, just live lonely, blah blah blah. I don't want to do that. I want to give the women who have hit the wall, who are still looking for a good man, I want to give you some meaningful advice. Okay? And this is the same advice I gave my cousin, and I think I find this to be very meaningful. Okay? And yeah. Before I say that though, first of all, for the post-war women, stay as far away as possible from any online dating sites. Okay? Especially Tinder. Tinder's the worst of them all. But things like eHarmony, RSVP, OkCupid, POF, whatever dating website you have in your country, try to stay away. Try to stay away from them. Definitely, 100% stay away from Tinder. Okay? Why is that? Well, first of all, you're going to continue attracting the bad people, the bad men. Okay? That's not what you want. You want to find a good person to settle down with. So you find a bad man, you know, being on Tinder, you're definitely going to attract that. On online dating, you're never gonna know as well. The risks are a bit less, but with Tinder, it just exponentiates quickly. Okay. The second point I also made, why you want to avoid that, is you may come off as desperate. Okay, you've exhausted all the traditional avenues of finding a good man. Now you're sort of going to the modern approach, which is online dating. So the good men that you want will probably see you as someone who is desperate to find somebody, and men don't like that, especially the gold diggers out there. But this is not about them. Bye bye if you are one. Okay, if you are one, stop watching. This advice is not for you. What I'm gonna say. Okay. Yeah. Again, I think with women who have hit post-war, you really want to make meaningful relationships. That's what it's about. I know I know a lot of MGTOW sites really just bash you guys. I'm not about that. I'm really here trying to help you, trying to help the post-war women on what to do. Yeah. So yeah. So just definitely avoid Tinder. Don't even think about it. With online dating as a last resort. Okay, as a last resort. Okay. So now I want to finish off with this. This is the best advice I can give to post-war women. I think I said it in my previous video, but I'm gonna say it again if I have. If I haven't, listen. Okay? And this is probably the best advice I can give. First of all, so I'll put in a little letter. So dear post-war women out there, you need to let go of the dream of finding the perfect person. Okay? He doesn't exist. Now, let go of the idea that you want someone for his money, looks, or status. Okay? Let's say the LMS. I'll call it LMS. Looks, money, status. Let go of that idea. If you're chasing a guy for his money, you're a gold digger. Again, as I said, if you're a gold digger, get the fuck out. This is not for you. If you only care about a guy's looks, you're shallow. It just shows to the guy that you're shallow. That's not what you want. Okay? And don't look for someone who has status. As I said before, what you're looking for is a meaningful relationship with a man. Okay? So as I said, let go of the dream of finding the perfect person. He doesn't exist. Let go of the idea of LMS. You're not going for those kind of people. If you are, then that's the reason why you're attracting the bad men. Okay? Now, what should you do then? Hypergamy says you've got to look for LMS, but scrap it. Scrap the theory of hypergamy for you. This is what you're going to do. You're going to find someone, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to look at his personality, okay? Now, but by the way, when I say LMS as well, I don't mean don't go for the poor homeless bloke who looks like a bum. No. What I'm saying is do not prioritize it. Yes, it may be important for you, but do not make it your number one thing. The moment you make it your number one thing, you are gone in the dating world. This is why 99% of women who have hit the wall find it very hard, because they still go for the LMS. Get rid of it, okay? Or if you don't want to get rid of it, don't make it your number one priority. Make it your number 9, number 10 priority. That's fine, but not your number one priority. So now, go for a person. When you go find a man, you need to be compatible with the man. You need to make sure that your personalities are fit for each other in a long-term relationship. Okay? You'll have a more lasting relationship with a man if you can get along with him as opposed to you using him for something. I know you women tend to go, I don't want to date a poor man. He doesn't have a house. He doesn't have a car. If he's renting a house, that means he has a house. It's not about owning a house. Okay, the moment you ask for him to own a house, you're in gold digger territory. Okay? With a car, there's public transport. Maybe the guy likes to bike. Maybe he doesn't need a car, he wants to ride a bike to work. That is completely fine. It's all about whether you and the guy are compatible with each other. And that's what matters. That's Marriages last longer when two people are not at war with each other. Are not going to be the potential for two people not to be at war with each other are high. Okay? So yeah. And it's a thing as well is first and foremost, I always say this. When you are in a relationship or in a marriage with somebody, you are first and foremost a friend. Okay? Not just a friend, but eventually a best friend. That is what you guys are going to be first and foremost. Anything else after that comes second. Okay? If you can't be friends with the person you love, why would you want to stay in that relationship? Now, if your answer is LMS, anything to do with LMS, then I'm not going to comment. I have some choice expletives for you. Okay? Life is too short for you to use a man for his resources, for his value, or whatever. That's not what it's about here. What it's about here is you finding a meaningful relationship with somebody. And that's your priority in your 30s. Not to find a rich, successful guy. Don't fall into that trap. Don't be that type of woman who falls for that rich, successful guy, and then 10 years later you find, it's not for you, I'm going to take half his stuff. You are going to detract a lot of men in the future if you do that. Okay, so don't be that type of person. And also, I'm going to end it with this. Disastrous things happen to men who marry women who want rich, successful men. Okay? Don't ever, ever, ever be the type of person who hurts good men. The moment you do that, by the law of karma, you will regret it. Okay, I'm not going to say anything else. So I'll finish with that. Okay? I've got other things to do now, so yeah. Thanks for listening to all the men and women. Okay? I should probably change the name to Brothers and Sisters of MGTOW now, since I'm sort of giving advice for the women, but MGTOW is mainly about the men. And also for the men who are listening to the stuff I said later on about the women. Don't think, especially the ones who are extremists. Also, I just wanted a little disclaimer, I'm not here to hate on women. If that's what you want to do, go to another channel. I'm here to try to create a bridge between the men and the women. I want to build bridges. I don't want to break them down. That's it, okay? So, thanks for listening, and MGTOW.